Perfect. Take it away.
Yes, I'm going to set up.
Okay.
With Alex.
First of all, I want to thank all of you here. First for your generosity of time, and also that I truly believe that this is the group of people that makes the internet better every day. You know, I remember the internet. I'm old enough to remember the internet when it was Pine. To those of you who don't remember that, when everything was text-based. And seeing all the work that everybody has done here, it's just amazing to be among you. We are a little different. We are a hardware company. How many people here do hardware? Got 1, 2, 3, excellent. 4. But hardware also has software. What I'm going to walk you through is a little bit of the history of the company, the technology, and why we think what we're bringing to the table is different. First of all, the technology. I was going to go and run this little video.
Avigant Glyph takes advantage of a virtual retinal display to transmit vivid, lifelike images directly to the eye. The image begins with a low-powered LED. After passing through a first set of optics, the light is reflected off a micro-mirror array, 2 million mirrors that shape the light into an image fit for the eye. The stream is then focused through a second set of optics and projected directly onto the retina, mimicking the way we receive light reflected off objects in our everyday environment. Glyph creates an image of extraordinary clarity, sharper and more realistic than current conventional display technologies, in a more natural way, without a screen. Enhance movies, gaming, or any media of your choice. Simply turn it on and enjoy the show.
That's the technology behind what we have. We're a 13-month-old company. 13 months ago, we were a PowerPoint. We have gone through 5 hardware iterations. 2 of the hardware iterations, by the way, I'd like to introduce my co-founder, Mark Palaima, over there. He's actually going to be in the, he's the guy who actually makes it work. I wanted to show you the first iteration of this product was actually the size of a table, 4 feet by 6 feet. Not exactly a wearable device. We did 2 more iterations, and what we have here is iteration number 4. And for those of you who can come over here, just take a look at this later. And then we have iteration number 5, which is also an alpha model. That alpha model, we decided we would go to CES. We would have the cojones to actually go to CES and go in front of 250,000 products that were being rolled out. Interestingly enough, we won Best of Show in CES, and we ended up in the front page of USA Today as one of the Best of Show. And somebody just corrected me. They said there were 32 million of these that are published every day. So paper media still works, you know. So there was a little. We started a company first as a. Actually, we were asked by the military to actually go and solve a fundamental problem. Our special operations forces basically do not have to wear ocular devices, night vision, thermal vision, you know, in operation in theater. And what they have right now is a little bit hard to use. They have a screen, literally the same screen as your iPhone or your Android, and you go slap it here. So imagine yourself, you're running special operations, you're tracking down the Taliban, and then you have this thing in your eye for 6 hours. So that's why we invented what we did. We decided to go and say, we're going to tackle the problem a totally different way. We're going to tackle the problem by saying, we're not going to use a screen. So how many people have heard of Oculus Rift? Wow, a lot of you. You know what they have in the Oculus Rift is they broke 2 Samsung phones, took the screens out, the OLED screens, put them in there, and put them there. And they've done a phenomenal job doing it. The only problem is you have to write software to it. In other words, to use the Oculus, you have to write software for it. To use the Avigant Glyph, you need nothing. It works with all existing movies, 3D, 2D, works with every game, in the iPhone, in the Android, PC, Mac, Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, and it works natively today and continues to work natively tomorrow. We put another thing, an innovation we did, we put a 9-way head tracker. So if you're doing Real Racer 2 in your iPhone, you can now look side to side. So from a design point of view, you design your games. You're not just going straight out the raceway. You can actually look side to side, look up, or look behind you. Unlike, I'm timing here, unlike, conventional design, the way we did design is a little different, right? We have to do electronics, we have to do human factors, and we have to look at everything out there. And so we did a study of every single device that's out there and tried to go and figure out, how do we do this, So, for example, this is the first thing we did was like, we took one of these from Home Depot, by the way, and decided to go and well, how do we do that? So we began to go and take some very fundamental elements and then expand on it. Interestingly enough, the most interesting discovery we made is that every ocular device, every head-mounted device out there does not have audio. So what we did, which was fundamentally different, was we took this device and made it into a headphone with active noise canceling and passive noise canceling of the highest quality, and all you do is you flip it down, then you get video. It's that simple. The value proposition is very simple. The human experience is very simple. When we were in CES, and this is the best UX experience, right? You leave it on the table, what do people do? The first thing they do is they pick it up, they wear it like a headphone. We succeeded. That was the entire objective. And then they suddenly fiddle around with it, and they click, and they click down, they say, ooh, there's 3D video there. And some people here, by the way, there were a few people who saw the 3D video already here. Can I maybe ask, Farshad, did you see the 3D video?
Yes.
Okay, what did you think of the 3D video?
Easy to watch. I mean, I didn't have to focus, or it's very natural.
Okay. So if any one of you has a chance later, please do so. Anybody else? Can you describe what you saw?
Sure. It was not pixelated at all. It was incredibly clear, just like you're seeing you in front of me.
So one of the concepts we did, no pixels. Because what we do is we shape the light. It's like reflected light. The way I see you is the way you see it here. So basically, that's the quick story of what we do. I mean, the only difference between what you do in, let's say, a website, and the difference is there's really no difference. In other words, I'm sorry, I take that back. What I mean is we have to take into consideration the human experience. What are we trying to do? When we did this design, and I'm just going to go through the last few minutes, of course, they won the Grammys. A lot of things. We did a lot of materials studies. We looked at different types of nylon. We looked at carbon fiber. We looked at every mock-up, analogous products, and that's how we came to this. Now, the other thing that's very different, and probably the last point, is it's not enough to design it physically. We have to design the electronics also. So, for example, because of the optical system, our tolerance is the minimum thickness of the eyepiece has to be 15 millimeters. We cannot make it any smaller than that, because that is the optical range by which we can create the diopter system. By the way, our system works for everybody. If you have glasses, +2 to -6, it works. Basically, you adjust each eye, and each eye is independently adjusted. Doesn't matter if your head is small or big, you can adjust it. There's an interpupillary distance. We can adjust it, so it works for literally 90% of the population. Another human interface issue, by the way, because the last thing you want is to tell people with glasses, you can't use this. So with that, my partner Mark here will actually join in the panel. If there are any questions, feel free to ask us. After the talk, feel free also to go and see. Mark actually said that he'll try to go and show it to as many people as humanly possible. Thank you so much to everybody here. Again, you are the reason why the internet is such a great place. Thank you so much.